It's February 18th, 2026, and let's get raw into the AI news. Let's start with a story about what happens when an AI tool reads information it was never supposed to see. On February 3rd, 2026, Microsoft published a service health advisory, tracked as CW-122-6324. They confirmed their Copilot AI chatbot had been processing confidential emails, and that this violated data protection policies set by their own customers. That bug hit Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now, Copilot is a $30 per month add-on that puts AI into Office products like Word, Excel, Outlook, and PowerPoint. Microsoft explained that a code issue was letting email messages get read and summarized by Copilot. This happened even when those messages had a confidential sensitivity label applied. And sensitivity labels are what enterprise customers use to classify and protect information. When a message gets labeled confidential, that label should prevent unauthorized processing. In this case, the AI just bypassed those restrictions completely. Now, customers first reported the problem January 21st, 2026, but Microsoft didn't acknowledge it publicly until February 3rd. The company began rolling out a fix February 10th, and as of February 18th, they were still checking the fix with affected customers. Microsoft hasn't disclosed how many organizations got hit. Now, this matters way beyond the technical stuff. Think about what enterprises use confidential labels to protect. Legal correspondence, business contracts, government investigations, medical information, financial institutions, healthcare organizations, and government agencies rely on these labels to meet regulatory requirements. Now, this also isn't the first security problem with Copilot. In mid-2025, researchers found a separate critical vulnerability called CVE-2025-32711. It had a severity score of 9.3 out of 10, and it let attackers extract sensitive data through email without any user interaction. Then, in March 2025, the United States House of Representatives banned congressional staff from using Copilot entirely because of data security concerns. Now, one day before this story gained attention, February 17th, the European Parliament also blocked its lawmakers from built-in AI tools on work devices. They concluded that they couldn't guarantee the safety of cloud-based AI features. Now, this timing hurts Microsoft badly because on January 28th, during their second quarter fiscal year 2026 earnings call, CEO Satya Nadella described Copilot as becoming a daily habit. Daily active users were up tenfold year over year. Microsoft now has 15 million paid Copilot users, and at list price, that represents approximately 5.4 million in revenue. But here's the thing, 15 million is only about 3.3% of Microsoft's total 450 million commercial Microsoft 365 users. And adoption remains what one analyst firm described as broad but shallow, meaning a lot of people have it, but nobody's really using it for much. Now, Microsoft stock has fallen approximately 20% from its all-time high, closing price of $541 on October 28, 2025. It's down to $396 as of February 17th. When the core promise of your AI product is that it'll respect your data governance rules, and then it doesn't, building enterprise trust becomes a lot harder. And now I want to turn to a completely different kind of story. This one's about where the next generation of AI breakthroughs might come from. On February 17th and 18th, the Financial Times reported that David Silver is raising $1 billion for a new London-based startup. It's called Ineffable Intelligence. He's looking at a pre-money valuation of about $4 billion, and the round is being led by Sequoia Capital. Nvidia, Google, and Microsoft are reportedly considering participation as well. And if this gets completed, it would be the largest seed round ever raised by a European startup. Ineffable Intelligence was incorporated on November 19, 2025, and Silver was formally appointed as director on January 16, 2026. The company is 3 months old and has no product. So why are investors willing to commit so much capital? You need to understand who David Silver is first. He was one of the first employees at DeepMind when it was founded in 2010 before Google acquired it in 2014. He helped develop AlphaGo. That's the system that defeated world champion Lee Sedol at the board game Go in 2016. He also contributed to AlphaZero, which could play chess, Go, and the Japanese game Shogi at superhuman levels, plus AlphaProof, which answered questions from the International Mathematical Olympiad. He's also a co-author on the 2023 research paper that introduced Google's original Gemini AI models. Silver's technical thesis is what makes this really interesting. He argues that large language models are powerful but limited. At this point, we all know what LLMs are and the systems behind GPT, Gemini, Claude. They learn from human-generated data, and that data is running out. In a paper published April 26, 2025, co-authored by Richard Sutton, Silver wrote something important. To progress much further, AI needs a new source of data. It needs to learn continually from its own experience rather than from human experiences. This approach is called reinforcement learning. An AI agent improves by trying actions in an environment, receiving feedback, and then adjusting. This technique powered AlphaGo and AlphaZero. Silver believes reinforcement learning is the path to superintelligence. Now, this is a bold and contested position. Many researchers counted that reinforcement learning works well in structured environments like games, but defining clear objectives for open-ended real-world problems remains an unsolved challenge. Silver isn't alone in leaving a major lab. Ilya Sutskever, former technology chief of OpenAI, raised $3 billion for his startup Safe Superintelligence. It reached a $32 billion valuation by April 2025, again with no product. Mira Murati, also formerly of OpenAI, raised $2 billion for Thinking Machines. Jan LeCun, formerly the chief AI scientist at Meta, is raising roughly 500 million euros for AMI Labs. So there's a clear pattern. Researchers who built the foundations of modern AI are leaving to build something different. Capital is following them at a crazy speed. Our next story, Google DeepMind released Lyria 3 today. It's a generative AI model that creates music from text prompts, images, and videos. It launched in beta inside the Gemini app, and CEO Sundar Pichai said that the app has more than 750 million monthly active users. This makes Lyria 3 the largest deployment of consumer-facing AI music generation in history. I don't know how it's going to compete with Suno though, because Suno is awesome. Anyway, Lyria 3 generates automatically written lyrics, users can specify genre and mood, and it produces 48 kilohertz stereo audio. Google is integrating this model into YouTube's Dream Track feature, which is a feature that generates soundtracks for short-form content on YouTube. Now, Google's big advantage here is distribution. Competing AI music platforms like Suno, which is targeting a $2 billion valuation, and Udio, which was acquired by Universal Music Group, they have to build their own audiences while Google can distribute its developments directly to you in the Google apps that you use every day. However, the biggest controversy around Lyria 3 is training data transparency. Google hasn't disclosed what music was used to train the model. They're only stating that they use music that they have the right to use under the terms of service and partner agreements and applicable law. Back in 2024, Billboard reported that Google DeepMind had previously trained music AI models on copyrighted recordings before approaching rights holders for licensing. The broader AI music space is now facing over 70 copyright infringement lawsuits. The largest related settlement in 2025 was a $1.5 billion case of Bartz versus Anthropic. Streaming platform Deezer estimates that about 50,000 fully AI-generated songs are uploaded to their service every day. Just on a personal note, if you haven't made any music using Suno, you gotta get on there. It's so awesome. And now our final story of the day. The Travelers Companies launched an AI claim assistant built using OpenAI's models and real-time API. Let's see how much faster and more programmatic they can do it with AI denying your claims for them. I wonder how sympathetic Claude Claim Denier is going to be to hearing about the fact that your dog died right before your roof collapsed. Anyway, Travelers is a Dow Jones Industrial Average component with nearly $49 billion in 2025 revenue, and they've built a system that handles inbound phone calls from customers filing automobile damage claims. It provides policy information, answers questions, helps customers decide whether to file, and then moves them to a digital process for uploading photos, scheduling repairs, and reserving rental cars. Now, this is part of a bigger transformation at the AI-first Travelers. The company has also partnered with Anthropic as of January 15, 2026. They're equipping nearly 10,000 engineers and analysts with AI assistants. CEO Alan Schnitzer stated that more than 20,000 employees already use AI tools regularly. This has become the standard, and if you're not using AI tools yet, you're falling behind. Now, as a result, the company has reported a 1/3 reduction in claims call center staff. Additionally, they're consolidating 4 centers into 2, and over 50% of claims are now eligible for automated processing. Less people involved. I wonder if that means less claims and more denials. Because just like me, general consumer sentiment remains cautious. Survey data shows that 40% of insurance customers are uncomfortable with AI processing their claims. Only 26% believe the benefits are shared equally between customers and companies with the integration of AI into their insurance claims. State Farm has separately faced a lawsuit alleging its AI tools were used to unfairly deny claims. So the regulatory environment is also changing. 23 states and Washington, D.C. have adopted a National Association of Insurance Commissioners AI model bulletin. It sets up expectations around transparency and accountability with regard to AI being integrated into insurance. And these 4 stories, taken together, show central tension in artificial intelligence right now. The technology is advancing really rapidly and attracting huge amounts of capital, but public trust, regulatory frameworks, and technical safeguards have not yet caught up, which is even more visible by the rapid adoption and rapid hype around OpenClaw and the dangers around prompt injection and other sorts of malware and attacks that now face consumers that are rapidly integrating with AI. So those are the stories for today. Thank you very much for watching. It's February 18, 2026. Like the video, subscribe. You're awesome, and I'll see you on the next one.